unless I'm missing something, it's very different from Lydia Tarr.
Yeah.
What you're describing
Wow, what a
is
transition,
someone
Robert.
who's or Linda Tarr, which you find out. What a brilliant way to find that out. You see it on a thing on her wall in the Kate Blanchett movie. But as you're speaking, I'm thinking, she's self-obsessed. It's about her only. And look what happens to her. And I'm far more interested in hearing about how people negotiate their life than how they create, film music, which is fabulous, but talking to artists about what it's like to live in the world is so fascinating. That being said, however, did you write in the movie Tar the music that she plays on the piano and picks out those notes? Okay, good, because I was wondering. And when there's a scene, for all of you who haven't seen the amazing movie Tar, where she's working on her own composition, and I think her daughter comes over and changes a note, maybe raises it a half step. And did you make that decision too?
Yes, yeah. It was the cellist that she's the
cellist. You're right.
Exactly.
The cellist comes over and says, maybe you should try the E flat or whatever it was.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which I loved more.
Yes.
I loved the cellist's edit.
Exactly.
It was more emotional for me, that melody.
Exactly. And that's kind of.
But I just wondered, did you write it?
I did. Yeah. So, and that's what I found so interesting, because I think, because I feel like a lot of people get a little bit shy about classical music and about not knowing enough about classical music to understand it, and therefore they can't share their feelings about it because they don't know enough to have an opinion. And I always feel a bit, I always think that's a bit sad, because I think any music, I don't think you have to have any degree in order to appreciate it or not appreciate it. I think music should be able to speak to us on an emotional level rather than to our intelligence, and what we've studied. So I thought that it was so because Lydia Tarr is so brilliant in this movie, and she's like on the top of her career, as you say, and she's so she's such an unstoppable force. That's the persona that she presents outwardly, but we do find out that she has a much more fragile side to her. And I think that, the process of her writing music had to be completely the opposite to the brilliance and bravado that she's presenting on stage. And I think that, writing a melody is something that an audience would probably understand much better than if she's writing a chord progression or if she's writing something a bit more complicated. So because I wanted it to be very clear to everyone, what she was going through and the doubts that she had about herself. And also that, because in these small changes, these small musical changes that you can do, and it's so great that you that it spoke to you so strongly, because that's exactly how it spoke to me. How I wrote the melody originally was that the way that the cellist then changed it into, and I was like, that's how the melody should be, and Lydia Tarr is her process is not seeing it as with the connection, because she's not connected, so, and then by just changing this half step, all of a sudden it changes everything, in the melody. And I think
it's unbelievable to me.
I think that's so interesting. Just that by this tiny change, you can change so much.
But it goes from the head.
Yeah.
That melody she had, or you wrote, was intellectual. And I thought, okay, that's why people don't understand classical music.
Yeah.
It's kind of heady. The cellist changes one note, and it's emotion, and it became, wow.
I'm so
and it's
happy
almost those two those two characters maybe are intellectual, and the cellist is clearly passionate and vibrant and connected. And so I never really, until this conversation, realized, I knew that the note, I'm watching the movie, you change the note, and I kind of go, oh, I like that one better.
Yeah.
I didn't think about the resonance of why. And I thought it's a more emotional feeling.
Yeah.